Hello and welcome to episode 53 of Daryl Show Your Work. After the past few videos, I made an observation that I've been using Burpsuite quite a bit in some of my in some of my demonstrations of different attack methods and exploiting certain attack vectors. And I may have put the cart before the horse, so to speak, and gotten a bit ahead of myself. And I didn't want to make any assumptions that those watching automatically knows what Burp Suite and what it can do. So I wanted to take this time to kind of run through and just do a bit of a Burp Suite 101 and just show basic functions of Burp Suite and what it is. So to start off, I'm just going to give a high level explanation of exactly what is a burp suite. All right, so Burpsuite is not just like one particular tool, but it's actually a set of tools for used for web application testing and also for penetration testing. And it's mainly used by cybersecurity professionals to find and exploit vulnerabilities. A lot of time, as we've seen in my previous videos, web vulnerabilities. So it includes a range of automated and manual tools for tasks like mapping websites, scanning for vulnerabilities, manipulating requests, and all of this is integrated into the single platform that we've been seeing. So some of those things that I just listed that it could do, I've displayed them in one shape or another in some previous videos of mine. All right, so just to get started, and you've seen me do this before, but I'm just gonna just to kind of zero in on some of the just the basic processes. I'm going to first open Burp Suite because it's something that we need to do. All right, so right here, this is the Burp Suite icon, and I'm going to use the Community Edition, and I'm also running this on a Windows 10 virtual machine. Yeah, I know Windows 10 is not no longer being supported at the moment, but I mean this is just the operating system that I have loaded on my virtual machine. So and I don't have a Windows 11 one. All right, but it should still be good. It's still show us basically how Burp Suite works. I mean it works the same as it does on 10 as it does 11. All right, so I'm just going to hit next here, and that's going to take me to the starting up Burp Suite. I'm gonna click Start Burp. All right, now I'm gonna go full screen here on us. All right, so I'm gonna hit exit because no need to update. All right, so the first thing that I want to do before I get started on anything, because there's some websites that we need to visit, and so I'm going to go to the proxy tab here. All right, so you see how this says the intercept is on. So this is the interceptor, and this is what's going to be used to capture the website, the method, the website method request method. All right, so that's either going to be a get or a post method. So this intercepts that and captures that traffic, and we can then do a variety of things once we've captured that traffic. And what's going to happen on the websites, and it's just going to pin and pin and pin until we eventually release that request or drop it or whatever we decide to do. But anyway, in order for me to be able to visit the websites first, I need to turn this off, because I don't, it's going to automatically start capturing traffic, and we don't want it to do that as of yet. So I'm going to turn it off. All right. So the second thing that I need to do is I need to be able to configure my operating system to use a proxy server for the web traffic. So in order for me to do that, I'm going to go to the Start menu right here, and I'm going to go to Settings. All right, now within Settings, I want to go to Network and Internet, and then over here on this list to the left, I'm going to choose Proxy. So we're going to manually set up our proxy server. So I'm going to turn this on to use proxy server. All right. So I'm going to tell it we're going to call this this proxy server similar to what we named the one in our last video. We're going to call it localhost. All right, and then I'm going to come over here and I want to set this to 80. All right, so that's setting up um, my operating system here to use a proxy server for the web's traffic that we're going to generate here for Burpsuite. So I'm going to save that. All right, now let's get started with generating some traffic. First thing I need to do is I need to make sure I can access that traffic after setting up the proxy server. So I'm going to go to my browser. All right, I'm going to click OK. Go full screen. All right, so we're going to go to the same site that we went to in the last video, and this automatically populated a open VOS site, but we're not going there. But the site we're going to is actually not at 12, but it's at .37, and we need to remove this S on the HTTP because we're using port 80 and not 443. All right. Okay, so all right, so it looks like I am able to access websites. All right, so the next thing I need to do is go back to Burp Suite. Now I'm going to turn on my interceptor. All right, and then now I'm going to go up here to my URL, and I'm going to hit enter again to generate some traffic into Burp Suite. So I'm gonna hit enter. All right, so we see that that Burp Suite has captured our GET request from the website. So we can, if we look up here, we can. This is where it tells us that a request to HTTP 192.168.137 port 80 was sent, and then this request is a GET request. All right, so this gives us all the information here about our GET request. All right, so in this example, I'm not going to do anything other than to forward this on to its destination. So some options that you see in my previous video is I would send it to the repeater. And so when I send it to the repeater, that allows me to play with things like modifying the request and then sending a response in a different environment. I guess you call it a test environment to see what would happen if I were to send that request. What would potentially happen with the modifications I add to that request, and that's when I send it here to the repeater. But in this instance, I'm just going to forward it on, and I just wanted just to kind of show what a typical request capture looks like. So I'm gonna forward that on. Okay, so now we're going to actually get into the altering of traffic. So again, remember what I just described of when I send things to the repeater. I'm not necessarily going to send it to the repeater this time. I'm going to actually I'm actually going to manipulate the request, and I'm going to actually forward it on immediately after I manipulate it, and I'm not going to test it out in the repeater. All right, so in order to do that, I'm going to turn Interceptor off and then turn it back on again, because sometimes if you already have traffic generated in there and you try to generate more traffic, sometimes it may capture it, sometimes it might not. So I'm just going to toggle it on and off just to ensure that it's going to capture this next set of traffic that I'm going to generate. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Just going to go up here, hit enter again. It should capture the same request. Let me see. And it looks like it didn't. So let me turn that on and turn that off and turn it off and turn it on again. Okay, I'm just going to drop that. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, there we go. All right, so this time I'm going to modify this request right here on the first line where we see get slash HTTP slash 1.1. I'm going to add WP and then a slash. All right. So I'm going to forward this request and we're going to see what happens after I've added that. All right. So let's forward it. Now, as you can see here, now we're inside of a blog. So essentially, what happened when I added that WP, it sent us to a WordPress site that's already part of this site. So I mean, I'm gonna go and I could show you. It doesn't have it up here. It didn't update it up here, but if I do WP, it's just going to send us right back to the same place. Now, hold on, I could actually go back to. It's probably best to go back to show you. Let's see, 37. Oh well, I have to turn Interceptor off, don't I? Okay. So let's turn this off. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then if I do slash WP, see, and it's going to take us to that same site. So when I modified the GET request to add that WP to it, it sent me to that specific directory. And so that's just an example of what it looks like to modify like a request, in this instance a GET request, to do or to take us where we want it to take us. So if you're looking at something like an insecure like a web server or something, if I were to then put like Etsy pass WD, all right, and it doesn't have certain controls in place, well, it could take me to that directory within that web server, and I will have access to all of those usernames and all of those user profiles, and that will allow me to enumerate that or some other places on the server. So that's why it's important to have good security controls on your front end uh, websites. All right. So, I mean, that's essentially it. That's all I wanted to show here. That's basic Burp Suite, and that's basic Burp Suite using the Interceptor. There are other features, but I just wanted to cover since I've been using the Interceptor on so many other labs. I just kind of wanted to do a Burp Suite Interceptor 101 to kind of give those watching and understanding of that particular aspect of what I'm doing. And hopefully there's some understanding to that. So to give a high level summary of what was discussed and displayed here, so I started off by configuring our Windows 10 operating system to use a proxy server for the web traffic. All right, and then I intercepted traffic using Burp Suite. That's just a simple demonstration of how that's done. And then I also show how to modify that traffic with a Burp Suite by entering in a particular um, um, directory that we wanted to go to within that particular website or that location, and showing how you can then alter or manipulate that traffic to take you to where you want to go, and explaining how that can be malicious in nature if the back end device or technology is not secure. So please share, like, subscribe. Most importantly, show your work. And until next time, take care of yourself and God bless.